Hey guys, it's John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur, and very excited because we're just on the cusp of New Year's in just a day or so. But that actually means that because this is the week that goes into New Year's, we're actually on, ladies and gentlemen, Series Three. Yes, I can't believe we're on Series Three. We'll get to that in just a second, but before we do get started, I want to thank you for being here. Whether you're here at 7:27 p.m. at night, in the morning, 3 a.m., 3 p.m., 12 noon, 12 midnight, potato. I am so grateful that you guys are here with me to take some of my knowledge from Inspirations for Your Life. And I really do want to say a big, big thank you to everyone because right now, ladies and gentlemen, do you know? I don't know if you guys know this, but right now, the Inspirations for Your Life show is now at this very moment today, December 30th, we're at 109,000 downloads. That's pretty cool. But again, I'm asking you to please help us on TikTok by going to believemeachieve.com or scanning that QR code. We want to reach 3,000 as quickly as possible so we can start streaming out to YouTube. Pardon me, we're already streaming to YouTube, to TikTok. All right, so I am John C. Morley. I'm a serial entrepreneur, and I'm a podcast host and a podcast coach. And I'm a specialist in helping businesses tell their story so they'll be able to scale and be more profitable. Now, I typically work with companies that bring in 10 million or more. And I love to help people find the truth of their story. What it is, getting it from the core, whether they know what their truth is or they need me to help them find it. I'm happy to help them out. All right, guys, let's get right into the show because New Year's not going to wait anymore. So we better get started. Otherwise, we're going to miss New Year's. Well, not really, but let's get going because New Year's is coming. So, ladies and gentlemen, the master topic for the week, here it is, everyone. 2024, unlock mastery to elevate your life. Right now we are on, yes, ladies and gentlemen, we right now are on, I cannot believe this, ladies and gentlemen, we are on Series 3, and we are actually on Series 3, and out of Series 3, we are on show, in case you guys didn't catch it there, we are on show 53, episode number 1. All right, so, but today's specific headline topic is mastering 2024. A New Year's, it's actually a New Year's resolution, promise to yourself, and I think that's going to be pretty cool. That is actually our main, so the goal, or if I want to kind of cut this down, it's really about our mastery. Okay, that's really what it is. And if we want to sum that up into a real short thing, the easiest way to put it, ladies and gentlemen, is how to make 2024 the best New Year's. Okay, and again, you're probably sitting and saying, gee, I don't know how to do that. But never fear, we're going to give you tips and tricks to help you actually do that. All right, everyone. So getting ready for New Year's might sound like a daunting task. Maybe you're having to plan for a party, make other types of arrangements, or, there's lots of other things that you might have to do. So before we get into this, I want to just ask you, what is it you have to do before New Year's? So some people might say clean their house. Some people might say, I don't know, make toast, make noise, kiss someone at midnight. So these are all things that you could be doing. But the thing is, a lot of people before New Year's, they want to get things ready. Maybe it's closing out their books or things like that. Things to kind of finalize 2023, because that's what we're in right now at this very moment. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a little more than 24 hours. We're looking at 27, 28, 20, so 24, 25, 26, 27. So it'll be, so 24 hours will get us to basically 7:30. So tomorrow will be 7:30. So you get 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30. So basically, we'd be looking at, ladies and gentlemen, 24 to 5 to 6, 28 and a half hours until we're in 2024. All right. So there is lots of stuff you have to do. And don't fret or worry about it, but we should take these last moments we have before the whole day of December 31st just kind of whizzes away. All right. A wise person once said, if you fail to plan, you have planned to fail. All right, let's get into this. So the next one is creating new habits. Now, you might not know what kind of habits you want, but you know you need some new habits. And I think that's probably the most important thing, is knowing that you need to change. A lot of you don't like change. You know why? Because change is oftentimes uncomfortable. People don't know how they're going to react, how others are going to react. So people avoid change. But, change is also the main thing that will help us to become a better version of ourselves. So we have to create new habits. And we're going to talk more about that throughout the week, but I just kind of want to give you a cursory. We want to celebrate. It's about celebrating our past accomplishments. So you might say to me, John, I know this sounds like a weird thing, but how do you celebrate last year's accomplishments? How do you celebrate them? You can express gratitude to yourself and to others that have helped you achieve them. Another way to celebrate your achievements is, basically to, you can use it to be the fuel that empowers you to create even more amazing, successful moments in 2024. So a lot of people I know that have had success feel it's a waste of time to celebrate. But I have to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I said to you before about emotions, about love, about anger. All these emotions we have, they're nothing unless we take some action with them. Love is nothing unless we actually do something, like take an action. That could be hugging someone, kissing someone. That could be giving them a gift, right? It's taking the action. It doesn't have to be a gift, but taking that action helps cement it in our mind. So celebrating accomplishments might seem like something you don't want to do, but I'm telling you right now, you want to celebrate your accomplishments. Maybe at the stroke of midnight, when it happens and you wish everybody Happy New Year's, you can celebrate all the things that you were able to do in 2023. That's pretty cool. Okay. Some people say to celebrate, their accomplishments, what they're going to do before, the New Year's, is they're going to, they're going to go to a movie, or they're going to go buy themselves something, or they're going to do something that's going to help cement the fact that they actually did something that was really worthwhile. Now, what I ask you to do is maybe take a piece of paper and write down all of the things that were really memorable for you this year. I know you can't write down everything, but start maybe from January of this past year, 2023, and just write down a couple things each month that were really memorable. Maybe January last year. So let me help you out here a little bit. So in January last year, was a great time for me. Just as well as I've got to tell you that I know January this year is going to be a very, very good time for me. So in January of 2023, it was the whole point of getting back on track. Okay. And just knowing that I'm great, I'm healthy, right? These are really, really good things. So for me, I would say what, really took it to the next level. For me, I'd have to say that the inspirations for your life show crossed into 2 years. So that was a major, major thing for me. I mean, major, 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 major. I also at this point realized that sometimes what other people express toward me is not always going to be for my greater good. And even if it's being a little bit rude, even though you don't want to be rude, if someone tries to rain on your parade, then it might be time to say goodbye. It might be time to say goodbye. All right. And saying goodbye is not an easy thing. All right. So my January was a very, very good month for me. I had the chance to be hosted by Neon Jax on an interview, which was really, really cool. I had the opportunity to lead a group, which was a lot of fun. I had the ability in January to create a relationship with a brand new vendor, which had the ability, and it did, bring in more revenue for one of my companies. So that was a great thing. In February of last year, again, I'm not going to go through every single month, but there was a lot that happened to me, let's just say, in February. One of the things that I learned is that was the time when I had to finalize my lines for the play, this Flow Follies play that I'm in every year. And so I think that was an interesting time for me. But I'd have to say, if I want to go through one of my most amazing times, that has to be just recently, when Inspirations for Your Life took on a new foundation with hitting our first milestone of 50,000 and then hitting 100,000 and now continue to grow and getting guests all over that want to be on the show. So for me, a big accomplishment for me is also realizing not to sweat the small stuff, and it's all small stuff. I also realize that sometimes what it is that I see is not actually what reality is. So I got a lot of opportunities to connect with who I am as a person, with different things I do. And I even learned some other ways to actually be even healthier. It was in only, I think it was September, October this year that I decided I'm going to run a marathon next year, starting in February, but also to try to the New York Marathon and just getting on that whole kick and just taking these things when people say, oh, John, you can't do this. And the more somebody says you can't do something, realizing that you can. So celebrating for me is maybe having a glass of Prosecco and just really enjoying them and just giving gratitude for everything that our Creator has allowed me to be able to do for myself and for all of you great people in 2023. I'm also very grateful because, we've created even more social media. I think that's an amazing thing. So in 2024, I'm sure you want to do more things. So it's about setting promises for 2024. But how do you set promises? That might sound a little daunting. It's not. Take a piece of paper out. You could take your computer out and start typing things and really start to envision what is it that you want. Well, one of the promises that I made to myself, you guys know that I'm, certified neurolinguistic programming, engineer, been a Silver graduate several times. Also got certified in hypnosis and clinical hypnotherapy. And even though I've done a lot of meditation, it was something I really just learned. And that was the whole concept of the metaphysical. Now, I can't go into that on this whole show, but I made a promise to myself that this was just the other day, that I'm going to not only meditate the way I always did, but I'm going to meditate in a different way with my eyes open sometimes. And I'm going to get connected with not only, my body, knowing how my body feels and being conscious of that, being conscious of my breath, okay, and being conscious of my heart. And then also being conscious of that gap when there's just nothing. And just making this a practice 2 times a day. And so one of my big promises to myself is to get very committed with the metaphysical in 2024 so that I can be one of the greatest manifestors of all time. People like Oprah and many other people out there who have struggled. And everybody always says, John, I can't do that, or I can't do this. And there was a book I was about to read, and I went online to get this book. It was an audio book. I'm not going to mention the person's name. And I decided to do a little digging because I was going to go buy the audio book, and it wasn't much. It was like $27, and they wanted another $14 for the other piece. So I said, well, let me give this a try. So I said, you know what? I'm going to wait till tomorrow. I'm just going to wait till tomorrow. Just something said, John, wait till tomorrow. So I did. And I came back to the site the next day in the evening, and I went to the site. I noticed they rolled out a new book. I went to the other site, the old site, and I couldn't pay for the audio download. I said, something strange. I can't click on it. I can't put it in my cart. I can't do anything. This is really weird. So I decided to do some digging about this person. And this is one of these people that says, manifesting is something you do, and he had all these consulting, all these great things. So I wanted to learn a little more about him. He had been on some podcasts, but that doesn't mean he was any good. And so he was also pushing himself too much that, he just cares so much of everybody. It just didn't smell right to me. So I did some digging, and I found out that last year he was arrested for money laundering. So I said to myself, the universe was trying to tell me something. Hey, John, don't buy this program because it's going to disillusion you. And you're going to be disappointed. Well, I have a subscription to Audible, which I've had for a long time, and I get all these books that I can get on there. So there was one book that I decided to read, and I'm still reading it. And it got me connected to the whole point that I'm meditating, but the way I'm meditating could be enhanced. So that's why actually starting yesterday, and today is the first day that I'm actually going to give a full account online and tell people, look, this is day 1 on TikTok, and I'm going to have people follow my journey and how meditation is changing my life. I think that's going to be pretty cool. So setting promises doesn't have to be anything astronomical. It could be buying a house. It could just be trying a new candy bar. It could be learning a new lesson. It could be making new friends. It could be realizing that, you're not always right, or realizing that when somebody says something, not to fly off the handle, right? Realizing that it's not how, right, something is right or wrong, but how you choose to respond to that shapes your character. And that in turn shapes how the other people are to you. And so I started realizing this whole concept that meta. And so meta basically just means that the world is a representation of itself. So a meta of myself could be a video of myself understanding myself. That would be a meta. And so meta, in the term for metaphysical, in the fact that there's energy. I'm not going to get into this whole thing today, but energy is all around us. And I just started to realize that I can do this. And I can make this subtle little tweak in my life and suddenly start realizing that even though I have a great life, things are going to get even better for me. Things are going to become even easier. More abundance is going to come to my life. And I just feel this. I don't know why, but I suddenly just feel like everything's going to be amazing. And that's one of the biggest things I want to celebrate. So I want to encourage you, ladies and gentlemen, to create or craft what I call crafting a promise list. So you can do things that you're going to do maybe in the next month, maybe it's in the next quarter, maybe it's in the next 6 months, next year. But I would encourage you to do one thing. If you're serious about having a life that is going to lead you to amazing things, learn how to meditate. So again, I'm going to be starting to do this tonight, explaining to you a little bit about meditation and giving you some tips. And I'm also going to be tracking my journey. Now, it's going to be more than a 30-day journey. It's going to be going on for quite a while. And I'm making the promise to myself to meditate. Why? Now, I've meditated before, but this meditating is different. This meditating is to help you become even better, but it's going to help me get connections to answers in the universe. Help me to release any blocks. And so I'm really excited about that. So I know that New Year's is just around the corner. And I know you're probably saying, oh my gosh, John, I don't know what I want to do. Okay. Well, just, write some things down on a piece of paper, right? Maybe the things you want in your life. Okay. And put those down on a piece of paper. And you're saying, well, John, I can't do that because I don't have the money right now. Okay, I get it. So why don't we just pretend for a moment? You could do 10 million, you could do 100 million, but maybe that's unreasonable for you because you don't believe you're worth that. Let's just pretend that you had an extra 10,000 in your bank account, right? That you had an extra 10,000 in your bank account after you paid every bill each week. What would you do with that money? And start writing that down, getting graphical with it. Research things online. You can cut things out. You can make a little collage. But I want you to feel the feeling of what it would be like to have that. That's what I want you to do for yourself. And of course, tomorrow is New Year's Eve. I'm going to have some more tips and tricks for you guys to lead up to your New Year's midnight. And some last minute things, if you haven't done them, to do them before midnight turns. So this could be the greatest, amazing New Year's that you ever experienced. All right, guys, I hope you have an amazing rest of your night. I'm going to catch you guys tomorrow. Yep, that's New Year's Eve. I'll probably be on early in the day because I do want to give you the tidbits early. Probably sometime late afternoon. And also start looking at believemeachieve.com. Go to JCM Academy TikTok. I'm going to be recording one of my first meditations advices after I do another meditation tonight. And I'm hoping that you're going to stay with me on this journey, my journey of an internal meditation. All right, guys, I hope you have a fantastic one. And start thinking about what are the things that you want in your life? People, places, things. What do you want? All right. Before I do say goodbye to you for tonight, I'm John C. Morley. I'm a serial entrepreneur, and I'm a podcast host and I'm a podcast coach. And I'm a specialist in helping businesses tell their stories so they will be able to be and scale more profitably. I typically work with companies that bring in 10 million or more, and I love to help people find the core, their story, their root. Now, if you got people in your life and you feel like they're taking from you, don't get angry. Just be aware of that and don't give them anymore. Because sometimes people will not be the way you expect them to be. But when you stop giving, they're going to change or they're going to be out of your life. I hope you have a fantastic evening, everyone. I'm going to catch you guys tomorrow, sometime New Year's Eve. Okay? Be well, probably during the early day.